Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and inhabitants of the 21st century. Before I even stepped into this room, an AI probably would have guided me onto the directions that I need to take, maybe the rooms that I need to choose, and the path that I have taken to come to office today. And even more, maybe AI would have guided somebody to write a ghost email that would have landed into my mailbox. We live in an age where intelligence is no longer exclusively humane. It has changed in many ways how we now look at lives, throughout the day, from the time we wake up to the time we go to sleep. Today, I want to invite you and join on a journey in one of the most fascinating topics: how technology is wiring our brains. We live in a world where digital devices are always connected, and we always keep that in our pockets. Think of a scenario where a notification comes to your mobile. You are sitting in a very important task that you're doing, but your mind constantly chasing you. Can you look around the notification? And you have to speak to your mind that it might be very urgent, but when you look at the notification, it's just a notification coming from somewhere which might not be very important to you. So technology in a way has started driving the way we develop our thinking, and it has started wiring our brains with the way how we take decisions. Now let's start with a simple observation, right? When is the last time you misplaced your phone?
Earlier this morning.
Yeah. That's no accident. Our brain becomes so accustomed to the presence of technology that a device not being there, it takes the breath away. The moment you find your phone, you feel like you are in control of your mind, and you have got something that you think will take you the day forward. However, there is another side of this story as well. Studies shows that our attention spans are shrinking with this technology driving our lives. Our average human attention brain has even reduced less than that of a goldfish. It has come down from 15-16 seconds historically to 6 to 7 seconds now. We are not able to focus on attention in our day-to-day lives. The way technology is kind of, having an impact on our brains. We'll explore the fascinating ways how our brains are adapting for better and for worse, and what are some of the effective ways that we can adopt into our day-to-day lives that can help us to kind of bring our mind to a statefulness where we are more, I would say, free and open to think bigger things. Let's look at the first thing: the bad wiring of our minds. Think about your own days, right? How often do you find yourself multitasking, scrolling through multiple things, through social media while watching TV, or toggling between emails while we are at work? Not able to focus on one single thing, and we are just toggling emails continuously, even for 15-20 minutes at times. This constant context switching isn't efficient sometimes, although we try to or act to multitask quite a couple of times. We are trading depth for a breadth, which will help us to deliver something effectively. What happens is the dopamine that is there in our mind, it just runs across multiple things, and we are not able to focus on one single thing that will help us to effectively deliver, something if we could have had a constant focus on that. It's like, trying to fill a bucket with tiny, drops of water instead of, continuous flow into that bucket where you can measure how much water has exactly gone into the bucket. So it's like you're having tiny droplets that's going into the bucket. We don't have a view that what's happening around, and just we are monitoring that. Now let's look at the good and the bad wiring now. Before smartphones, I vaguely remember that I was able to recollect a lot more numbers, a lot more detailed information was there in my memory before the smartphone came, right? there was a constant fight that was happening across in the way we used to memory and remember things and how we do it today, right? So we have gone far ahead in terms of how we have adapted to technologies and how we need to, free up our minds so we can think better things as well. Now, our brains act like, there's a term called neuroplasticity. So our brains act like that. As much as we want to elongate that, how we are doing it today, it's just getting elongated with so many information that we are feeding into the brains. Whether it acts the way it is supposed to be, whether it thinks the way it needs to be, and whether we are making it more stronger to the current world's problem. There's a bit of diversion that we see across that as well. So what can we do about it? The first thing is awareness. There are a couple of ways that we can try to at least adopt into our day-to-day lives that will help us to get out of these kind of situations that we face in day-to-day world. First one I would like to highlight is digital detox. Let's take some time out, not looking at devices, with electronic gadgets, with trying to do multiple things at the same time. Sometime take a breath, it will give us a little more, peacefulness to our minds. Second thing is single tasking. Sometime doing multiple things at a time might not lead to a good result. The third one is curate your feeds. So let's sometime constantly talk to our mind and brains. What do we want to bring things inside rather than just opening up things and taking everything piled up. The last one is practice active recall. Always try to memorize things from your brain than to refer to a technical gadget or a device, how things has to work. So with this, let's reclaim our attention, nurture our focus, and use technology as a tool to enhance our human experience. The power to rewire our brains for a better lies firmly in our own hands. Thank you.